The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a Primal Lifestyle. With your hosts, Nico and Ellen Haan. Now, Nico and Ellen Haan.
Good morning, I'm Nico Haan, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced and natural wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. Good morning, I'm Ellen Haan.
And it's a beautiful morning in downtown St. Petersburg, 70 degrees, clear skies. It's just been really lovely here in Florida. It's been in the 70s, and at night goes down to 60s. It's perfect weather for us.
It is perfect and good for sleeping.
Yeah, and I'd like to remind people, please pick up our Primal Edge. It's really important now because of the fulvic and humic acid. You know, it gets the good stuff in, takes the bad stuff out. So please pick that up. It's only $89. And also like to remind you that we do have a Health Signals newsletter which follows the show. All the articles we talk about are in this. So pick that up. It's $10 a month. You get it twice a month on the 1st and the 15th of every single month.
And you can use your discounted Tiger dollars on TFNN.com.
Yeah, and you can use that for anything we sell here.
Yeah, Primal Edge.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to start off today with the ketogenic diet helps tame the bird virus, or the flu virus, the bird flu.
Pig flu.
So many flus, I'll tell you. This is really cool because, of course, we've been on this type of diet 11 years, I think.
Yeah.
And this is what we promote on the show. That's what the Primal Lifestyle is all about. And in this, the mice were fed a ketogenic diet. They were better able to combat the flu virus than mice who were fed a diet of high carbohydrates.
It's a very interesting process because mice are used for testing.
Yes.
And somehow they get results that are similar to what
Because
humans.
of the digestive system. They're omnivores, just like we are. So they use rats and mice, and that was the first thing they always used. And, of course, they're easy to breed. Too easy, some might say. But that's the thing. So this research project was a brainchild of two trainees in this lab. And I don't even know where this lab is.
Let's see.
Development, Howard Hughes.
Yale University.
Yeah, Howard Hughes Medical Institute. So they showed that the mice that were fed the ketogenic diet and infected with the influenza virus had a higher survival rate than the high-carb normal diet that mice are on, which they eat a lot of seeds and stuff like that. Specifically, the researchers found that the ketogenic diet triggered the release of gamma delta T cells. Those are immune system cells that produce mucus in the cell linings of the lung, while the other diet, the carbohydrate diet, did not. So this is a good study.
So what was this gamma delta T cells that they talked about? They said that if the mice were bred without the gene that codes for that, the ketogenic diet provided no protection against the influenza virus.
So we know it's the cells that protect it, and these T cells get activated by the fat diet, so by burning fat instead of burning sugar. So that was interesting. But we've been watching a lot of different YouTube things about the virus. And some of the people we listen to, of course, Suspicious Observers. The other one is Suspect Sky, and they put one out each about a week. Every week. And the boys were talking about this. Let me get this here. The CDC tells hospitals to list COVID as the cause of death, even if they're just assuming or if it only contributed to. So this is a study that they've been talking, and actually this is directive from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. It's the guidance that they give.
Are they trying to inflate the statistics?
Well, that's you could interpret it that way, I think. They have two criteria. One is called the U07.1 for the death by corona infection. And you list that if you've got any symptoms of any kind of the flu, you're going to put this down as the cause. And then they have this other one, which is the second criteria, and that's the one they don't list on the birth or on the death certificate, but it could be the cause of death It could be pneumonia, it could be a secondary thing, but always in these things, if you're going to list it as the cause of death, you're going to list it for that category 1, the U07.1. So that means automatically, I think it's inflated. It just seems that that's
what would be the purpose of inflating it? To cause a panic? To substantiate? You know, when I was studying statistics, the first thing I discovered with statistics was you can find statistics to support any position you want.
Exactly.
So if they predict that there'll be 200,000 deaths, then you have to have 200,000 deaths.
Yeah, and so far we have about 10,000 deaths, and the normal flu gives you on an average about 30 to 38,000 deaths. On a high year, we've had as high as 78,000 deaths. So the numbers really don't add up yet. The other thing they were talking about, and I don't have an article for this, but they were speaking that the corona test that they use, the new one that is a quick test, that you get the information right away, will activate with any coronavirus. So if you had a common cold or you've had any of those viruses recently within the last year or so, you're going to test positive in this test for coronavirus.
So it's important to know that coronavirus has been around a long time, and it's around all the time, and this is just happens to be a new strain.
Yeah. So these are some of the things that. Sorry, I forgot to turn this off. There we go. Yeah, so all this information is kind of mixed up, and of course, when I know you don't watch the press releases and the whole staff coming on every day, but I listen to a little bit of that, and there's a lot of conflicting information there. One person saying one thing, one person comes on after that and says something else, so it gets confusing.
Also in Florida, we have the governor issuing executive orders trying to curtail the socialization and the spread. And then we have individual cities issuing emergency orders. The city, for example, of Fort Myers literally closed every hotel, every motel, all timeshare operations, all businesses.
I think they did that in Miami and Broward, too.
Yeah, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, they've curtailed.
And these are where the most population is on the East Coast.
And the most transient population up and down from the Midwest or from
and that probably has something to do with it, too. People are still moving around. I mean, we drove down to the studio here, and there definitely were people on the highway.
Yeah?
So, social distancing, people are still going about. I see a lot of people without masks on. We don't have our masks yet. We've ordered them. We ordered some fancy ones. We ordered the little ones. We still haven't gotten those. So that's a problem if you want to go out and not look like everybody else, I guess. I'm not sure if it makes any difference or not. I think we're pretty well. I think our diet is the number one thing we have going for us. The other thing is that we are self-isolating, except for just a couple of trips here and there. There's one down here to the studio, but there's nobody here but our producer. So that's good. Right. So anyway, so during the break, I think one of the things that we really do know is that the Primal Edge is something that you need right now, and it has over 310 organic cell-ready liquid ingredients in it that make sure you get healthy, but more important, you got the fubic and whole humic acid that'll protect you. We'll be right back, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back. I just want to mention that Paige Clark is now kind of a correspondent at large for the show, so she will be calling in periodically, and later today we'll have her on the line. But right now we got a caller, and we got Tom from Tampa, so let's talk to Tom. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Hey, good, Nico. How you doing?
Doing great, man.
Good. Your wife's on the show now with you, too?
Yeah.
Hey, good. Well, that's great, man. Nico, I noticed a couple of weeks ago, I think you mentioned something that while all this corona is going on, with the virus and everything, that you had increased your intake on the Primal Edge.
Yeah.
Okay,
and the reason for that is I just want to be extra protective that humic and fulvic acid plays a real role in opening up the cells and shutting them down and taking stuff out. So I want to detox as much as possible during this time. So I'm taking it in the morning, and then I take one just with my dinner.
Okay, yeah. I'm just wondering, what are you taking, like 2 shots a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just during this time, and we tend to do that too when we're traveling. We tend to do it when there's anything, if the KP index, where we're not getting our magnetic protection from the Earth and we got more cosmic rays come in, I try to watch that. And anything that is going to be traumatic, I'm going to take a little more Primal Edge. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm going to increase the mine. I'm just thinking usually I take a shot around 6 in the morning, maybe a shot around 11. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, either way will work for sure.
Super. Okay, man.
Thanks a lot for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Nico.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we wanted to talk about what next?
Well, one of the things that I'm a sociology and psychology person, and so I'm always looking for the human angle on all of these things.
Okay.
And I did some research on social isolation, because social distancing is one thing, but social isolation is quite another adventure. And I noticed that when we drove home last week from the show, and I saw cars on the road, somehow it made me feel better, because we watch a lot of apocalypse movies. And,
yeah, we do that. Yeah.
So I mean, kind of in my mind, it was like, oh my God, there's nobody out there. This is the end of life as we know it. And I was feeling, just not even realizing that I was thinking that, until I saw the cars on the road. and realize that, oh, wait a minute,
We're not alone.
We're not alone. There's all kinds of people out there.
This is not The Walking Dead.
Right, no zombies are coming down the road.
Well, it's especially hard for people who are living alone and people who are elderly or have a complication of some kind. So this is why families are so important. We need to keep in touch with our families, and we need to help those people who can't help themselves, for sure.
Well, the first thing I started doing a little research, and I was shocked because I read that loneliness and social isolation have the same cardiovascular effects as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And they also, but loneliness and social isolation also increase all kinds of morbidity. So, in other words, it makes it worse. Loneliness increases the risk of developing dementia by 50%.
Wow.
And the risk of having a stroke by 32%. And it also increases the morbidity rate of cancer by 25%.
Yeah. And a 2015 study found that men experience up to 85% increased risk for all-cause mortality following losing their jobs. A lot of people lost their jobs.
Right. Why are you socially isolated? Right now we're socially isolated. We're social distancing. So,
Yeah.
but
and we're all in it together, kind of, too.
Yeah, but we have each other.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is living alone, that's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one to talk to, no interaction, no feeling of normalcy.
Yeah.
And that's why it's really important to reach out to your neighbors if you know you have neighbors who are older or who are isolated for whatever reason or who are alone. Just reaching out, calling, or leaving a note on the doorstep. We want to be careful not to expose anybody to anything or not to get exposed to anything.
So the Lancet study, which is a 2020 study, found that separation from loved ones, the loss of freedom, uncertainty over disease status, and boredom can, on occasion, create dramatic effects. Suicides have been reported substantially, anger has been generated, and lawsuits brought the following imposition of quarantine in previous outbreaks.
Well, and the other thing that's interesting is that a feeling of social isolation and loneliness is something that people live with all the time, and this just makes it worse.
Yeah.
43%, according to a study funded by the AARP, 43% of adults age 60 or older reported feeling lonely, and that's under ordinary circumstances. Mm-hmm. People can feel lonely in a crowd. People can feel lonely even with a family gathering. Yeah. And so we really have to be vigilant about this. And what can we do? First thing is to plan and connect. So one of my friends is talking about doing her Passover Seder on Zoom. Uh-huh. And getting the family together and going through the service, the Seder service, and keeping in touch that way. Businesses are doing it through some kind of a video connection.
Which you've been doing.
Which we've been doing every morning. Yeah. And in fact, Thursday at 4 o'clock, we have a virtual cocktail party scheduled.
Oh, maybe I can join in that one.
Yes, you can. You're home.
That's right.
You're in the office.
That's right. Well, there are bonuses to it because when this whole thing started with you about a year and a half ago, working from home, I was a little concerned. Not deeply concerned, but when I come home, I'm alone, usually, when you're not there. And I
hope so.
So I was thinking to myself, oh, man, is she going to get in my space now? And this is going to be all different, Here we had most of our marriage. We've been apart, except in the evening or on the weekends and vacations, thank God. But now the whole new dynamic. You're there all the time. I come home and it's no different. It's just beautiful. It's like we're on vacation almost sometimes, So I come in and you're always smiling. We have a happy household, and that's one thing I think that contributes to the whole ambiance when people people do come over, which they haven't much lately, but we do have a guest occasionally. And my buddy Rick, who lives alone, and he's got a couple of issues himself. He's my age. And so, last weekend he says, I'm not going to come by. We usually have a little scotch in the afternoon or something like that. And I told him, I says, come on, swing by, and he did. And we had a couple hours in the afternoon.
Had a good time.
And had a good time, yeah. So I think it's important still to do that. And, of course, you have to be a little bit picky. I don't know if this virus is real. It seems real. You get a lot of conflicting things, but that's what happens, especially now when we have so much different kinds of information. I mean, we have information. If you go on YouTube or you go on Facebook or any of these things, you've got 6 sides to every story. And now you have to kind of choose between the two. So,
we clearly live in a time of informational overload, and just because we have the information doesn't mean that we need to read it or look at it. It doesn't mean it's true. I mean, this whole thing of being on if it's on the internet, it must be real.
Yeah, exactly. So when we come back, we have Paige calling in, and she sent me an article that's very, very interesting. It's called "The Woman Who Lives 200,000 Years in the Past." It was on an Outside magazine. We're going to discuss that a little bit. I thought it was very interesting. So we'll be right back, folks.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show. We have Paige Clark on the line, and she's introducing me to this woman who lives 200,000 years in the past. Her name is Lynx, I think, Velden. And I don't think that's her real name.
No, it's not.
Hey, Paige, how's it going?
Well, good morning, Nico and Ellen.
Welcome
Great
back.
to see you both.
Yes. It's so great to have you here.
I'm telling you what, I love listening to the show. I think Ellen was mentioning about the loneliness. That's something a lot of us aren't thinking about. We really need to think about some of our older people or people that do live alone. And remember, we need to reach out, even if it is virtually. This can be a real advantage. But great information, guys.
Thanks. So this one you sent me really hit me because, I read the thing twice because I really wanted to get into it. And, of course, she's definitely a social isolation because she lives alone for plenty of days and nights. But she also brings people in and shows them how to do the types of work. But there's a lot of interesting facts. What drew this to you?
Well, actually, it was so funny. As soon as I saw it, all I could think about was, wow, this really is the hallmark of what our show has been.
Yeah.
And at the same time, and I'm not looking at the screen right now, but I love that picture of her in her little sleep yurt. I think that would be a great one for the telestrator. But
yeah, that's what I have.
It really is it made me think that right now, while we're in this social distancing, many of us are finding this time to reconnect with nature, I hope.
Yeah.
I sure have noticed a lot more people. I kind of live in the woods, which I love in the morning, being able to see it. The people that are out walking, whether with their kids or by themselves. And I'm hoping that perhaps during this time, many people are taking this time to give themselves that reconnection. But for sure, Nico, she really does live the lifestyle that we've been talking about for whatever the last 10 years.
Yeah, and one of the things that brought my attention, these people who live in isolation have so much passion for staying there. Even though it's very difficult and there's hard times and it's not ideal, especially today, they still have a passion to keep on doing it.
That is true. And one of the things, though, that really ties back into the great points that Ellen made was she mentions, kind of in wrapping it up at the end, that as far as going further and deeper and really disconnecting, she goes, I only do it if I get a clan together.
That is the point I got, too. It sent shivers to me because she cannot do it alone. And we have to have that group of 30 to 50, maybe 100 people around us that have all the different skills that we need because nobody can do it by themselves.
Right. And that's really how we evolved, was a clansman. And, let's take the slogan that we've got now that is in it together.
Yeah.
We really have to be in it together. We need to bond with people, and despite the fact that we're in the social distancing, and I think that, and maybe towards the end of our conversation or whenever we're talking, I'd like to bring up a few things about the COVID and some information that I'm funneling to you for the next newsletter that I think will be valuable. But I really got this from the letter that even she has such a contrast in her lifestyle. One evening she's curled up in that little yurt, or that great picture of her shooting her bow and arrow on the horse, and then she may go into town to work on her email newsletter to her group. So she's got one foot in the conventional world and one world out there, but she's
I think that's kind of how you have to do it.
Yeah, the point really is, this is the 21st century, so how do you create a primal or a wilding lifestyle in this modern world?
Because it's against the law in most places.
Yeah, you may not be able to stay on a particular piece of land, or you have to go into town to check your emails, or if you are reaching out to groups to do training, you have to be able to reach them and talk to them and make arrangements for it.
Maybe we should be teaching the homeless these skills. They're homeless
that's a really
already.
Good point, Nico. Let me read something to you.
Okay.
We're trying to emulate this culture, but we have no idea how it works.
Right.
We don't have elders telling us how to do this.
There you go.
And as a result, the exercise of rewilding demands fluency in both skill and fantasy and a certain amount of romantic aspiration.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've been social isolation for the last couple of hundred years, in a sense, haven't we? Because our elders don't live with us anymore. Our children aren't with us all the time anymore. We send them off to schools and to daycares, have strangers interact with them, and this is our society now. It's all broken.
Or they live far away, and people have moved away. They don't live in tribes anymore.
Because of work or school. These are the reasons we move.
Yeah, for sure. And, as this whole idea of rewilding is also referred to as bushcraft. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. I think I have, Nico and Ellen. My brother bought property in Alabama. My nephew lives up there. He catches most of their family's food, deer and rabbit and everything. Mm-hmm. But my brother has turned part of the property that they live on into like a primitive camp. And he calls it bushcrafting.
Wow.
And they mention that practitioners of bushcraft draw liberally from the world's traditions, but are themselves typically white people, often endowed with at least some degree of privilege. In other words, it's people like us that have the privilege of being in this high-tech world, but we're craving that reconnection with the primal self.
Yeah, so it's not really a privilege, is it?
Right. I just think this was so interesting, and I saw this, and I wanted to share it with our group that people want to get this, but we don't necessarily have to totally disconnect.
No, I think
from
there's
our
a
world.
happy
Maybe
medium
we just
there.
need to do some integration.
Yeah, I agree, and I think our world is going to change after this because we've actually kind of got comfortable with the isolation in a sense too, and not traveling so much. So are we going to go back to those restaurants? I'm thinking we are, but maybe not as much.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if you have time, Nico. You can let me know here. I sent some other information that I want to, if you have time on the next slot, I'd love to update you on some coronavirus stuff and give some tips for people.
Yeah, we're going to do that next week because we have another thing we got on. But
well,
definitely,
that'll be great because check your email because I sent some stuff for the next newsletter and then we can talk about it. I think it'll be really interesting.
Well, thanks so much for calling, and we'll see you on the next show.
Okay, guys. See you later.
All right.
Bye, Paige.
Oh, that's great to have her on.
Guys.
Yeah.
So this is called, and you can find this in Outside Magazine, but of course I'm going to throw this into the newsletter so you have everything we talked about today. It's called The Woman Who Lives 200,000 Years in the Past, Outside Magazine, written by Catherine Rowland. And I got a lot out of it just reading and the difficulty. She even got arrested for for trespassing, but for cutting down a dead tree.
Right.
They put her in jail for that.
I think this article really brings up interesting challenges for us in today's world. People, it's either they say, well, there's no way we could do this. Look, it's ridiculous. We live in a technological world, and there's no way that you can live off the grid. And other people, it's sort of an all or nothing, but it doesn't have to be an all or nothing.
No. And one thing I noticed, too, is when somebody's coming to meet her, she says one thing, bring meat.
Yeah, right.
Because meat is harder to define. We'll be right back, folks. Stick around. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back. We were talking about social isolation and social distancing, and I wanted to just touch on a few more points regarding that. Anxiety. Anxiety is very real, and it certainly is a problem in these times when our schedules are changed, our routines are changed. We can't just jump in the car and go somewhere, and even to the mall, anything. But one of the problems with anxiety is that it actually suppresses the immune system.
Right.
So that's a problem in this current environment.
Yeah, and just turning on the news and seeing the numbers because they have those the tally. You know, I don't know. I think these types of things started way back when with one of our presidents who was in that Iran hostage situation. Day one started, you know, and now every news thing is breaking news. Everything is always breaking news just to get your attention.
News.
Yeah, it's broken news for sure.
News. And one of the things you can do to limit anxiety is to limit your news consumption.
Yes.
You know, don't sit there in front of the TV all day long or in front of the internet and looking at the stats and what's going on. And don't believe everything you see or hear.
No.
And so what can you do to calm yourself and to relieve your anxiety? Because it's important. You have to reduce it. First of all, living with anxiety on a regular basis is very debilitating, and it's unpleasant at best, and it's dangerous at worst.
Yeah, and of course, last week we talked about breathing, how important it is. But today we're going to switch over and talk about the sauna, because this is something I do almost religiously now. I think I missed one day a week last week. It's something that's kind of a constitution type of thing. And the question is, can a sauna protect you against the coronavirus or all viruses and infections? And I think it can, because what we're doing is detoxing ourselves. We're allowing them to release whatever's in there.
Well, talk about the sauna itself. What is a sauna?
There's various different kinds. So the one we have is kind of a self-made one, goes up to about 140, 150 degrees, uses those red lights. Those you have to stay in kind of longer. In Europe, especially in Finland, Sweden, Norway, they use a very hot sauna and steam rooms that get up to 180, and I've heard of some of them that get up to 220. Now, you have to acclimate yourself even for the 140 that I do. You really have to do it for 10 minutes at the beginning, and now I'm up to 40 minutes because I've been doing this for years. And I can stay in there an hour, no problem. If you're going to a hotter sauna, then I'd have to adjust to that. So there's an adjustment period. I know men do this a lot more than women do because women usually are concerned about makeup and things like that. Now you have to just completely get rid of everything, do that, and then maybe reapply it or something like that. So that's my thinking. I don't know why, but I do notice that men do it more than women do.
Well, it's the same mentality as you're on the airplane, they hand you the wet towel, and the men wash their faces and the women wash their hands.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So regardless of the many precautions you take, the simple fact is that everybody's at risk contracting this type of disease. The best physical health doesn't seem to make too much difference, including strong immune systems will give you the best position to resist it, I think. So eating is the first line of defense, we always say. Clean water, clean food.
Primal Edge.
And Primal Edge, making sure you're getting the right vitamins and minerals and make sure that you have the ability to detox. And one of the best ways to detox is a sauna, a far infrared sauna. Yes. And it feels really good. It also calms the mind. That's another thing. You know, you can sit in there. And sometimes I sit in there and watch a little YouTube. Sometimes I sit in there and read. And sometimes I'm just there by myself. And hopefully by myself, right? Yeah. But when I don't have anything to do in there, time goes much quicker. And I have a timer, so I turn around every 5 minutes. And I'm noticing when I'm not doing anything, all of a sudden my mind starts to wander and bing, the thing goes up, I turn around. So it's really kind of not only detoxing me from the bad things that might be in my body, it's also kind of detoxing my mind, my spirit. That's the way I feel about it.
Well, and how does the heat work on the virus?
Well, what it does, your body is releasing liquid, and this is how your body sweat. Yeah, well, right. Sweat. Technical term.
A technical term.
So when it releases that, your cells are giving out. And, you know, cells are smart. They know that they need to release things. So this is kind of a prompt saying, hey there, release this. That's kind of the way I envision it.
And then, then sweating causes, what happens to the virus? Heat, intense heat, kills the virus?
Exactly. Yeah. But more importantly, it's out of your body. So here, a regular sauna usage will provide the additional benefits, to name it just a few. Detoxification of the body by way of perspiration, kills bacteria and viruses, increases blood flow and antibody production, really important, fewer symptoms of asthma. And remember, if you're turning around and the lights are behind you, now your lungs are there exposed.
And the far infrared really penetrates this.
Penetrates very deep, at least 6 inches in. Saunas improve cardiovascular performance, and they induce a deeper sleep. Oh. So blood is the body's transport system. So if you're going through the efforts of eating a healthy diet, you want all the nutrients to be going into your body. Primal Edge, one example, to help you. But you want it just as efficiently to take the toxins out, because we live in a toxic world. We have toxic air, we have toxic water, we have toxic food, and now we have toxic people.
Well, we had toxic people before.
Oh, that's true,
but now it's because they have a virus.
That's right. So the
same protections are necessary against toxic people of every kind, against any kind of toxic situation.
So here's a couple of facts. The reason sweat smells is because it's identical to urine, and your body just does not want this toxic waste product, which is why it's so happy to get rid of it, and you should take all the steps needed not to stockpile it. Remember, these things stockpile where? In your fat cells.
Right.
So people who are obese have a real...
They're much more danger.
A big trauma to get rid of this, because when it's, when you're expelling it, even through sweat, your digestive system, you're going to have those toxins react with your body.
Yeah, that's the trick, isn't it? When you have, sometimes if you have a deep massage or something, that you have to drink a lot of water to flush out the toxins.
Yeah, and you may feel nauseous for a while. There are things that happen to you. German sauna medical research proves that saunas were able to significantly reduce the incidence of cold and influenza in people who participate. And the body exposed to heat in the sauna and steam in traditional saunas, it produces white blood cells more rapidly, which in turn help fight illnesses and helps kill the viruses.
And saunas can relieve congestion and just like a Vicks vapor rub.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So these are important steps to take, and there's really inexpensive ways to get into this. You can even buy one of those lamps and just have one and kind of spot it. Mm-hmm. Spot it on your lungs, spot it where you're hurting, that type of thing. Just don't spot it on your head.
Yeah, we were using it on our feet for a while when I was having some kind of cramps in my feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have a little portable one, and then we have this array of 4, which I've shown on the show before. So we got a little more information left, so please stick around, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Oh, we have a few more minutes with you folks, so we're going to touch on some ways that you can relax and you can calm yourself and deal with your anxiety. And one of them is to listen to music or otherwise find some activities that you really enjoy. With everything closed, there are so many concerts now, and on Facebook, every music celebrity is doing a show or a concert, or on YouTube. So there are lots of things you can watch. Getting things done in the house, hobbies. If you have a puzzle you've been wanting to do, get it out.
Great time for a puzzle, for sure.
And work on it.
Yep.
And humor. Humor is a very important coping mechanism, and so obviously we have a good time.
That we do.
Yeah, and then we were talking in our, I think in the last show about exercise.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things to do is not to overdo it during this time. When you're extra stressed, exercise is another stress form. So I say take it a little bit easy. Don't go to all gung-ho. And if you do go all gung-ho, take a sauna, take a bath, relax, get that music going, or whatever it takes for you to calm back down. During this time, I've exercised actually less. I've gone, instead of 30-minute swims, maybe a 15-minute swim. I do a lot of hanging and push-ups and things like that, deep breathing exercises. These are all things that can help you calm the mind down, and at the same time, it brings the health back, for sure.
But it is important to move. Don't stay in that chair for hours on end or in front of the computer. Get up, move around, take a walk around the block, just something so that you get some fresh air or that you get some movement in your muscles.
Yeah, and I notice a lot of people out and about, too, which a lot more bicycle using, motorcycles, a little putt-putts around, and I think that's a good thing. Of course, it's really nice in traffic now because you can get home at a reasonable time.
Or you're not driving for 2 hours a day, and so you have that extra time. To be able to get out and...
So that's the important thing, especially here at TFNN, where everybody's looking at computers all day and stressing because the market's up or down. You need to take that time out and relax, walk around, get your coffee, your tea, and, we just want you to be healthy.
Watch a rerun of Living a Primal Lifestyle.
There you go. That's it. Hey, thanks for sticking around, folks. Pick up that Primal Edge in my newsletter, and we'll see you next week.